Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Welcome into Danville, California, the home of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Today, a league matchup against the top two teams in the CCL Northern Division, the Walnut Creek Crawdads against the Healdsburg Prune Packers. Welcome into the DVB broadcast booth. Austin Oda joined alongside Alonda Say, The Crawdads come in struggling of late. The Dads were hot for a while, and now the Dads have gone ice cold, losing their last 4 in league, 3-7 in their last 10 overall. They come in with a record of 12-10 in conference, 19-15 overall, and they'll be facing the top-ranked Prune Packers, who come in at 27-6 overall and 17-6 in league. The last time these two teams played, there was only a 2-game difference between the first and second place rankings, and now that's gone all the way up to 4.5. The Crawdads now sit just a game ahead of third place Lincoln, needing a win today before they take on Lincoln tomorrow at home and then head into the All-Star break. The Crawdads will be starting Fisher Johnson, their usual Sunday starter. Johnson comes into this game 1-3, his record of 4.11 ERA, 21 strikeouts in 19 2/3 innings. He'll be facing the Packers, who lead off with Jake Holcroft in center field. Jared Sunstrom, the right fielder, bats second. Joey Kramer hit 2 home runs the other day off of Ryan Fleming. He's at third base, batting third. Blake Burke in left field, usually a DH first base type, but he'll be ranging out in left today. Sam Brown, the first baseman, bats fifth. Kimball Schusler, the all-star catcher, in the 6th spot. Carson Crawford, the shortstop, out of Cal, bats 7th. Sam Hunt, former Crawdad, the DH, hitting 8th. And Zack Vulatic rounds out the lineup for the Packers. We're just about to get underway. First pitch was scheduled for 12 p.m. It's currently 12:02, so not as egregious of a difference between scheduled first pitch time and actual first pitch time as we saw yesterday up in Sonoma. Yesterday, Sonoma started about 20 minutes after scheduled first pitch time. They waited to start the pregame festivities until 6:07 when it was a 6:05 start time. It was not the most fun, but hey, we're here today and we're ready to get started.
Center fielder number 1, Jake Holcroft.
Jake Holcroft leading off for the top-ranked Prune Packers against Fisher Johnson. First pitch from Johnson. Fastball chopped first base side, foul outside the reach of Doroff, 0-1. First pitch time, 12:03, 87 degrees out here in Danville, California. On 1 the count to the leadoff hitter, Jake Holcroft, one of the most talented players in this entire CCL, though you can say that about most of this Healdsburg team. Holcroft comes in .369 average, a pair of home runs, 24 RBI as Johnson delivers, and it's chopped to the second base side. Corio over, sidearm toss to first, in time. A good start for Fisher Johnson. The defense that the Dads are setting out today is
The right fielder, number
In
11,
left field,
Jared
Joey Donnelly. In
Sunstrom.
center field, Coleman Schmidt. In right field, Jack Ben Shoshan. Good to see him back in the lineup. The infield from left to right, Ryan Ellis, Jude Putz, Tyson Corio, and Brian Duroff. With Zach Tajero behind the plate, and the man on the bump, Fisher Johnson. 1 out, still no score here in the top of the first inning, and it brings up Jared Sunstrom, one of the best hitters in this entire conference. Leads the league with 10 home runs, also a .318 average, 24 batted in. First pitch slider from Johnson, called strike one. When Fisher Johnson has that slider that he's able to locate, not only to get someone fishing, no pun intended, but also for a called strike, that's the best version of Fisher Johnson. Sunstrom yesterday became the first player in the CCL to reach double digits as he can't hold up on a slider. Strike two swinging, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes the count to Jared Sunstrom. Johnson sets below the belt and delivers. Fastball outside and a little low. 1-2. He's gone consistently to that outside edge early so far in this one. We'll see where he goes here. Tajero sets up in now with a 1-2. Swung on and missed. Got him fishing with the changeup. First strikeout of the day for Fisher Johnson, the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down, and it'll bring up Joey Kramer.
Healdsburg, the third baseman, number 6, Joey Kramer.
Always a good start to see Fisher Johnson attack the zone early. Where he struggled this summer, it's been with the walk, with the inconsistency, getting behind in counts. Johnson does have 10 walks in 19 innings. Now trying to set down the Packers 1-2-3 in the first inning. Joey Kramer, the hitter. First pitch, slider. Wraps inside. 0-1. Kramer comes in, 377, 8 home runs, 30 runs batted in. More strikeouts than walks, but not by much. Tied for second in the CCL in home runs, of course, with Coleman Schmidt, the 0-1. Fastball, outside edge, 0-2. Johnson's been in a rhythm so far. We'll see if he can set down these Packers early. He sets and deals. Slider swung on and missed. Have yourself a start, Fisher Johnson. 1-2-3 go the Packers. 2 strikeouts for Johnson. Schmidt, Corio, and Ellis due up in the bottom of the first when we come back here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Bottom of the first inning here at Monte Vista High School. We'd like to welcome in not just the Crawdads fans today that are listening in, but Healdsburg as well. I've been informed that the Healdsburg broadcaster, the phenomenal Hayden Weber, was unable to make it to today's game, so he sent out the link to our live stream. Hope you enjoy listening to us as much as you do Hayden. Hayden is just tremendous out there for you all in Healdsburg. The Crawdads lineup: Coleman Schmidt leading off in center field. Tyson Corio, the second baseman, bats second. Ryan Ellis at the hot corner, hitting third. Kavaris Tears, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Brian Duroff at first base. Joey Donnelly, the left fielder, bats sixth. Jack Ben Shoshan in right field, batting seventh. Zach Tajero behind the plate. He hits 8th, and Jude puts the shortstop, rounds out the lineup. Coleman Schmidt leading off, .352 average, 8 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Also the league leader in steals with 14, tied with Ryan Ellis. Steps in to face Sam Stoutenborough, one of the top pitchers in the CCL. First pitch fastball, zips in off the outside, 1-0. Stoutenborough comes into this game with a 4-0 record in 5 starts, a 1.28 ERA, 24 strikeouts in 21 innings to just 2 walks. The 1-0. Schmidt lines this one to center, settling under it. The center fielder, Holcroft, for the first out of the inning.
Second for Walnut Creek, the second baseman, number 13, Tyson Corio.
One out now for Tyson Corio. Corio's gotten that average all the way up to 250. Good to see from Corio, who had his second home run of the summer yesterday. Also 10 batted in. First pitch, Corio lines this one to left field and slicing, foul. 0-1. The 0-1 misses a little low. Corio evens the count with his Hawkeye, 1-1. 1-1 the count to the Crawdads' second hitter. Corio grounds this one on 2 hops to Brown, the first baseman, who runs it to the bag himself for the second out of the inning. 2 down now. The Packers' defense from left to right in the outfield, Blake Burke, Jake Holcroft, and the right fielder today, Jared Sunstrom. From left to right on the infield, Joey Kramer at third, Carson Crawford, the shortstop, Zack Vulatic at second base, and Sam Brown over at first, Kimball Schusler behind the plate, and Sam Stoutenborough, the pitcher. First pitch to Ellis, sails down, 1-0. The 1-0, ground ball, second base. Up with it is Vulatic. He throws to first in time for the third out of the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Stoutenborough to match Mr. Fisher-Johnson. And Johnson will head back to the second inning of work. 0-0 still the score when we come back here on the Crawdads Streaming Network.
Off the top of the second inning for Healdsburg.
Blake Burke, Sam Brown, Kimball Schusler to hit for the Packers. 0-0. Fisher-Johnson and Sam Stoutenborough both worked clean 1-2-3 first innings. Burke comes in, maybe not lighting the world up like some might have thought he would. 276 his average, 5 home runs. First pitch slider Backdoors, Blake Burke, 0-1. Also, 33 batted in for Blake Burke, so that's not bad. 0-1. Johnson delivers. Slider, high pop-up. Over to the left side. Putts, calling it. Settles under it, and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Always good when you can get Blake Burke on just 2 pitches. Teammates, of course, with Hollis Fanning and Kavaris Tears over at Tennessee. That'll bring up Sam Brown. 333 average. 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in. More walks than strikeouts. This is a Healdsburg team that, in general, walks almost as much as they strike out. 159 walks to 212 strikeouts. 1 out for Sam Brown. Johnson, in agreement with Tajero, fires the first pitch. Called strike 1 with a fastball. On the outside, 0-1. Johnson takes a deep breath and fires a slider. Fouled off to the left, 0-2. Fisher Johnson works pretty quick, but not nearly as quick as a guy like Hollis Fanning or Ryan Fleming, who are just get it and go guys. The 0-2. Johnson comes set and fires. Swing and a miss. Got him swinging for the second out of the inning. The 3rd strikeout of the day for Fisher Johnson. He's locked in. Now Kimball Schusler, one of the many All-Stars for Healdsburg, one of 7. Schusler, along with Joey Kramer, Jonas Sebring, Jared Sunstrom, Jake Holcroft, Caden Noah, and Sam Stoutenborough. Of course, 6 Crawdads named as well, as Johnson comes set, and the first pitch. Schusler takes just a little high. 1-0. The 6 Crawdads that were named to the CCL Showcase team: Coleman Schmidt, Brian Duroff, Ryan Ellis, Ryan Brome, Hollis Fanning, and Gabe Tanner. 1-0, fisted right to Doroff, who sticks his glove out on a lunge in foul territory and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down, a second time for Fisher Johnson. We'll head to the bottom of the 2nd. Still zeros on the scoreboard here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Kavaris Tears, Brian Duroff, and Joey Donnelly due up. KT, the DH today, hitting .250, 3 home runs, 18 batted in. Stoutenborough for his second inning of work. Let's see what Tears can do. First pitch. Tears takes a changeup on the outer black, 0-1. Stoutenborough takes a breath, now readies and fires. Tears takes down and in. The count goes even at 1. Tears has been swinging a good bat recently. We'll see if he can keep it going as the 1-1. Just a little outside with a fastball, 2-1. Always nice to see Kavaris Tears working long counts. Only 7 walks on this summer to 23 strikeouts. The 2-1. Tears takes strike 2 on the inside. He's not too happy with it, but it was right there. And it's 2-2. Stoutenborough looking for his first strikeout of the day. He fires. Tears strikes out swinging. Good changeup for the first out of the inning. I'll bring up Brian Duroff, one of the 6 All-Stars for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Duroff, 339 average, 2 homers, 20 runs batted in. First pitch, Doroth lines this ball right into left field in front of Blake Burke, and it gets by him! Doroth goes around first, he'll be up at second, and he's in there, a single and an error for Blake Burke, and you know, that's why you don't put a first baseman in left field sometimes. Blake Burke, a ball right at him, and it was just clear he wasn't comfortable playing out there, and Doroth will be up in second.
Batting 6 for Walnut Creek, the left fielder, number 10.
Single and an E7. So a single and an error, and it'll be Joey Donnelly. Donnelly looking to get off the schneid, 1 for his last 27. First pitch, Donnelly swings through a changeup, 0-1. Donnelly comes in with a .217 average, 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in, 20 for 92. The 0-1. Donnelly takes off the outside, try to get him with that changeup again, and the count evens at 1. Donnelly's last hit came against Solano just a couple days ago, but that was sandwiched between 2 long 0-for stretches. The 1-1. Donnelly takes strike 2 called. 1-2. Joey Donnelly was one of the best hitters on this Crawdads team for such a long stretch, and now he's just gone ice cold. Trying to break out of that here. Becoming a little too selective almost. Stoutenborough sets at the belt, checks her off on second. Now the 1-2. Donnelly taps this one first base side, right over by manager Cummings, who kicks it in foul territory. The count stays 1-2. Stoutenborough now looking for his second strikeout after he got Tears to start this inning. Ben Shoshan waits on deck, the right fielder. He comes set, looks at Duroff, and fires. Donnelly lines this one to shortstop on a couple hops. Crawford up with it. He throws to first in time, 6-3, but Brian Duroff does a nice job of moving up to third base there. And the Crawdads have a runner on third. Yes, there are 2 outs. and now Jack Ben Shoshan. This is a scenario that the Crawdads have really struggled in of late, where they'll get runners on base, they'll get runners in scoring position, and just not be able to do anything with them. The other day in Healdsburg, as we've mentioned a couple times, the Crawdads had runners to lead off an inning in 8 of the 9 innings and were still unable to score. Here's Jack Ben Shoshan. Stoutenborough's first pitch. Ben Shoshan, high tapper to shortstop. Sitting back on it, Crawford from the hole. Low throw and past the first baseman, Brown. Ben Show's going to be on second base, and the Crawdads have a run. Sam Brown just had nothing with that ball. Not a single piece of that big first baseman's mitt touched that throw from Crawford. With Ben Shoshan hustling down the line, he forced the error. 2 errors in the inning. The Packers, they're a team that feasts on getting gifts from other teams, and now they're giving the gifts. 1-0, the Crawdads lead. This is a break that the Crawdads really needed early on. An E6 and the Crawdads lead 1-0. Zach Tajero now. 267, 14 runs batted in. Having a really solid summer behind the plate is Tajero. Stoutenborough. First pitch. Tajero chops this one to second base. Should end the inning. Vulatic up with it. Throws to first in time. Brown stays on the bag and makes the catch for the 3rd out. The Crawdads score once on a hit. 2 errors. They leave a runner stranded. We'll head to the top of the 3rd inning. 1-0, the Crawdads lead here on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the 3rd inning, the Crawdads catch a pair of breaks and are able to bear a run out of it. Fisher Johnson out for his 3rd inning of work. He has just been amazing so far through 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, no hits, no walks as well. He'll be facing Carson Crawford, Sam Hunt, and Zack Vulatic. Zach Tajero, makes his final throw down to second base, and we're just about set to start the top of the 3rd inning. We're free-falling here in Danville, California.
On the top of the 3rd inning.
Carson Crawford to lead off has really turned it on of late. 269 average, a pair of home runs, 14 batted in. He was a guy at the start of the summer that really wasn't doing much for this team. He was hitting 167 the first time the Crawdads played them. He was hitting 189 as recently as July 7th and has just been hot recently. First pitch to Crawford, big slider, 0-1. Johnson, the 0-1. Ground ball up the middle and a base hit. Crawford sat fastball. He read it right out of the hand and was able to take it right back where it came from. The first hit of the day for Healdsburg. And it'll bring up Sam Hunt, the former dad. Hunt this season hitting .326. 13 batted in. 7 steals. Was part of a late inning double steal the other day that Crawdads were not too happy about. First pitch to Hunt. Misses off the outside. 1-0. Johnson comes in agreement with Jujero, now sets the 1-0. Misses high, 2-0. So Fisher Johnson's a guy that works exclusively from the stretch. He has done so all summer. And for that reason, you would think it would be easier for him to work with runners on base, as he doesn't have to move from the stretch or from the windup to the stretch, but 2 straight balls after throwing just 2 through the first 2 innings. The 2-0. Flipped into left field. Donnelly takes a step in, now steps back and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So nice bounce back for Fisher Johnson. It'll bring up the 9-hitter, Zack Vulatic, 273 average, pair of home runs, 13 batted in, walks more than he strikes out, 7 stolen bases. He's listed as an outfielder, but playing second base today. I think he's done that more often than not this summer. But when you have a logjam in the outfield with Jake Holcroft, Sam Hunt, Braden Runyon, Jared Sunstrom, you'll find opportunities for guys to play. First pitch misses low, blocked by Jujero, 1-0. One and 0 to the 9th place hitter. Johnson trying to get a double play ball here, get him out of the inning, get his bats back up. Crawford an aggressive lead on first. The 1-0 misses high, 2-0. Johnson holds his glove at his hip, checks Crawford at first, now comes set. Pickoff move, Crawford back in safely, no tag applied by Duroff as Crawford slid the hand in there, well ahead of the throw. 2-0 the count to Zack Vulatic. Fisher Johnson is ready. The 2-0. Slider, too far inside, 3-0. Johnson threw a ball to Jared Sunstrom, the first pitch that he threw to Sunstrom, and then threw one to Kimball Schusler, the first pitch he threw to Schusler. 2 balls in the first 2 innings and now 5 in the last 2 batters combined. 3-0 the count to Vulatic. Likely has a red light here with Jake Holcroft waiting on deck. Johnson delivers. Fastball just a little tight, ball 4. So the walk, which has plagued both the Dads and Fisher Johnson so far this season.
Center fielder, Jake Holcroft.
The first of the day. And it'll bring up Jake Holcroft. 0 for 1 today is Jake Holcroft. He had a tapper to Tyson Corio over at second in his first at-bat. Bats from the left side. The Crawdads in their red tops, white pants, black socks, black hats. The Packers in their all grays, the sleeves cut out. First pitch, Holcroft, fly ball, left field, towards the line. Donnelly coming over, makes the catch for out number 2. A lot of action for Joey Donnelly this inning, 2 outs. Donnelly the other day up at Healdsburg had a tremendous throw to the plate to nab a runner. Andrew McKenna's tag was right there, and the runner didn't even go in sliding. He knew he was out all the way. That'll bring up Jared Sunstrom, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Runners on first and second, 1-0 the Crawdads lead here in the top of the 3rd inning in Walnut Creek. Well, Danville, California. It's a misleading name. As were the Crawdads last year playing in Moraga. First pitch, Sunstrom takes ball 1 with a slider off the outer edge, 1-0. To be fair, the Walnut Creek Crawdads I think sounds better than the Danville or Moraga Crawdads. I do like the name the Danville Dads. Devin Susky back here with us just mentioned that one. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Sunstrom was well out in front, and he swung over the top of a good changeup. 1-1. 1-1 the count. Johnson readies. Sunstrom takes, called strike 2. A fastball that looked a little in, and Fisher Johnson lucky to get that call. Sunstrom immediately looked back. I mean, that ball almost hit him. It's not like he's overly crowding the plate there. But to each their own. Constantine Bartlett behind home plate making the call. The 1-2. Johnson fires. Chopper, third base side, foul, just past the chalk. Count stays 1-2. Johnson was looking to bury that slider on the outside, and it sank a little too far in, and you don't want to hang a slider to this guy. Johnson lucky to get that ball back. Tajero. Still trying to get the sign with Johnson. Now Johnson steps off. They'll go through the signs again. 1-2 the count to Jared Sunstrom with Carson Crawford on second and Zack Vulatic on first. Now Tajero sets outside again. Johnson checks the runner on second and fires. Swung on and missed. Got him with the slider. Man, Fisher Johnson is rolling. 4 strikeouts through 3 innings, 3 shutout innings at that. 1-0 the Crawdads lead when we come back here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Jude Putz, Coleman Schmidt, Tyson Corio. Here is the Crawdads lead 1-0 in the bottom of the third inning. Here from the DVB Insurance broadcast booth. Austin Oda, Alondis will be taking over for me from innings 4 through 6. Jude Putz set to lead off for the Dads. Putz, yesterday's birthday boy. Now just, a regular day for him. Regular day back at the office. Putz hitting 159. First pitch way outside. Uncatchable by Kimball Schusler. Almost gets our field mic. Got a little too close there for comfort. Stoutenborough, a guy with control to spare, but he spared a little too much there. 1-0 is the count to the shortstop Jude Putz, the 9-hitter. Stoutenborough nods in agreement. The 1-0. Putz checked his swing. Did he go? No, says first base umpire Matt Bullis, and it's 2-0. Stoutenborough looking to get a clean inning after his defense let him down in the last one. The 2-0. Putz swings and misses over a fastball. 2-1. Yesterday, Putz 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He was also hit by a pitch. 2-1. Putz takes down and away. 3-1. Jude Putz still yet to have an extra base hit this summer. Just 10 hits overall. 3-1. Putz grounds one into the 5-6 hole, past the dive of the third baseman and into left field. Putz has a hit. So a nice 3-1 piece of hitting to just hit it where the defenders weren't. And it'll bring up the top of the order and Coleman Schmidt.
Center fielder Coleman Schmidt.
Coleman Schmidt with, in my opinion, the best walk-up song in the league. Of course, you could say the same thing about Reese Kent, as they use the same song. Reese Kent maybe trying to steal some Coleman Schmidt magic. First pitch on its way to Schmidt. Takes way outside and low, ball 1. Of course, Reese Kent and Coleman Schmidt, teammates up at St. Mary's. Maybe some friendly competition to see who's the best user of that walk-up music as the 1-0. Schmidt hits it high and deep to left field. Going back, Burke takes a bounce up against the wall. Puts around second. He'll stop at third, and Schmidt holds up at second with a booming double to left field. He got all of that ball, every stitch.
Second baseman, Tyson Corio.
Well, now the Crawdads have runners on second and third. Still no outs. And 2, 3, 4 coming up. A mound visit between Kimball Schusler and Sam Stoutenborough. Now Tyson Corio, 0 for 1 today, grounded out to first base. The Crawdads just need a run here. They need at least 1 run out of this situation. They'd love to. They'd, of course, love more than that, but they can't get out of this inning without scoring. The defense playing back in the middle, and the corners playing up. First pitch to Corio. Taken down low, ball 1. Stoutenborough in a jam. Schmidt, the runner on second, puts the runner on third. Schmidt doubled, puts singled. In the other order. 1-0. Stoutenborough checks the runner on third and delivers. Corio flips this one back to the screen. The count draws even at 1. One to nothing the score here in the bottom of the third, but the Crawdads are threatening to add more with 2 very speedy runners on the base paths. The 1-1. Corio lines this one into left field, a base hit in front of Burke. He is just able to keep it in front of him as it started to dive away from his outstretched glove on the right hand, but Tyson Corio knocks in a runner, and it's 2-0 Dads. Great piece of hitting from Corio. Just took it the other way. The Dads are still in business. No outs, runners on the corners, and Ryan Ellis at the plate. 2-0 now. Ryan Ellis 0 for 1, grounded out to second base in his first at bat. Stoutenborough sets just above the belt. First pitch to Ellis. Dives low with the slider, 1-0. Stoutenborough, to this point in the summer, had given up just 3 earned runs the entire summer. Of course, the run in the first run that the Crawdads scored was unearned, but already 1 today. If they were to score any more in this inning, likely those would be earned as well. 1-0 to Ellis. Stoutenborough fires. Ellis takes called strike 1 over the outside. The count goes even 1-1. 2-0 the score. The Crawdads lead in the bottom of the third inning. Corio on first, Schmidt on third. Stoutenborough fires. Ellis chops this one past the first baseman, foul. 1-2. Stoutenborough ahead in the count. Nods, kicks, fires. Ellis chops this one first base side, foul. Brown gave it a look, but it was just foul on the second bounce. Ellis stays alive. 2 runs on 4 hits so far for the Crawdads. No runs on a hit and 2 errors, 2 very costly errors for Healdsburg. 1-2 the count. Stoutenborough looks to first. The 1-2 to Ellis. Line drive over the head of the leaping shortstop and into left field. 3-0 Dads. The hit parade. 4 straight hits for the Crawdads. Well, where has this offense been?
Designated hitter, Tavares, Tears.
3-0 Crawdads. 5 hits. 4 straight. Runners on first and second. Corio, the runner on second. Ellis, the runner on first. Stoutenborough still in a jam with Kavaris Tears, who struck out in his first at-bat. First pitch, Tears swings through a changeup, 0-1. Own 1 to Kavaris Tears. Stoutenborough delivers. Tears. Soft chopper off the mound. Stoutenborough. He fields it on a backhand. Throws to first in time to get Tears by a step, but the runners each move up. Corio goes to third. Ellis goes to second. And an out, but a productive one at that for Kavaris Tears, and just the first out of the inning.
Brian Duroff.
Now Brian Doroff, who laced a single into left field where Blake Burke had an adventure out there trying to keep it in front of him, was unable to. Duroff ended up making it all the way to second base. Three to nothing, the Dads lead this one. Stoutenborough comes set with runners on second and third and just 1 out. First pitch to Duroff. High pop-up. This won't do the job. Vulatic in shallow right under it makes the catch. Bluffing a tag from third is Corio, but he'll stay right there, and Duroff's not too happy with himself. A P4 for the second out of the inning.
Fielder Joey Donnelly.
It'll bring up Joey Donnelly. Donnelly 0 for 1 on the day. Was able to move Duroff up to third in his last at-bat, a productive out. 1 for his last 28 is Joey Donnelly. Stoutenborough trying to escape. First pitch, Donnelly takes down low. In front of Schussler, he blocks it and keeps it in the infield grass, 1-0. Stoutenborough laboring a little bit. 2 guys that were at Cal last year. Of course, Stoutenborough transferred. Donnelly trying to do some damage against his former teammate, the 1-0. Strike 1 called. Pitch number 40 for Sam Stoutenborough. Really, considering all of the traffic he's been in this inning, all of the damage that happened last inning, 40 pitches is not a bad number to be at. You'd like to sit around 15 an inning. Hollis Fanning likes to sit at less than 9 an inning. The 1-1. Donnelly takes, called strike 2. 1-2. Former Giants pitching coach Dave Rigetti said that just about the perfect number was 14 an inning. Hollis Fanning informs me right now that at Tennessee you like to stay at 12. 1-2 to Donnelly. Stoutenborough fires. Donnelly checks his swing. Did he go? And no swing, says the third base umpire, Wyatt Hill. First time we've seen Wyatt Hill on the field. We've seen Constantine Bartlett behind the plate oh so many times. Matt Bullis at first we've seen pretty frequently, but first time seeing good old Wyatt Hill. So 2-2 the count. Donnelly able to stay alive. Stoutenborough takes a long time, now sets. 2-2 to Donnelly. Donnelly takes up high, 3-2. Two runs already home this inning. 3-0 the Crawdads lead. Runners on second and third, but there are two outs. Jack Ben Shoshan waits on deck. But right now, all eyes are on Joey Donnelly. Stoutenborough. Readies. The 3-2. Donnelly foul tips this one. Back behind the plate. Schuessler can't hold on to it. Donnelly stays alive. Donnelly was able to give the ball a ride yesterday in his pinch hit at bat, but it hung up just enough for the right fielder, Blau, to be able to catch it up in Sonoma. Seems like he's hopefully starting to turn a corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Stoutenborough comes set and fires. Donnelly takes strike 3 called on the outer black, and he goes down looking. But the Crawdads ride the hit parade 4 straight, including Coleman Schmidt's RBI double. And the Dads lead it 3-0 when we go to the top of the 4th. On to say, back on play-by-play here on the Crawdads Streaming Network.
Top of the 4th inning here in Danville, California. The Crawdads lead right now 3-0 over the visiting Healdsburg Prune Packers. Alon Deshay here with you for the middle inning. Still Fisher Johnson on the mound for the Crawdads. He's going to face 3, 4, and 5. Joey Kramer, Blake Burke, and Sam Brown. So far, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters are all 0 for 1 with a couple of strikeouts. Kramer struck out in his first at-bat. Back in the top of the 1st. He went down swinging. Oh, we'll see if Johnson can keep it going. Johnson already with 4 Ks today has only allowed 1 hit. Oh, the righty Kramer steps in. Came into this game hitting .377, 8 home runs, 30 driven in. Just a lot of production and power out of this Healdsburg lineup. The first pitch from Johnson is a slider that misses away. The count 1-0. What has been tough for so many of these Crawdads pitchers this summer has been avoiding the big inning. And it looked like Johnson possibly did that last inning as this pitch misses low. The count 2-0. But he's got to get through 4. Manager Cummings likes to get his starters 4 innings of work no matter what. And some of them can go deeper, such as Hollis Fanning. Ryan Fleming has shown the ability to go deep into a game. And here's the 2-0, and this checked on, but it's a strike regardless, so the count 1-2. All right, check that, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. And now a warning being handed out here by home plate umpire Constantine Bartlett saying that's enough. Not sure what was being barked out from the Healdsburg dugout, but Bartlett took exception to it, so a warning right there. The 2-1 pitch, and this is tapped foul behind home plate. The count even at 2-2. Johnson now up at 35 pitches, 24 strikes, 11 balls. Been very economical so far, pounding the strike zone. The 2-2 pitch. This is hit over to short. Putz has it. He's up with it, throws to first. Had to hurry a little bit, and the throw pulls Duroff off the bag, who attempted to make a tag with the glove. Not able to get it done, so that's an error on Jude Putz.
Just sat back on the ball too long. He didn't charge it enough, and with Kramer's speed, when you sit back on a ball that deep in the pocket, you have to trust your arm. And though he has a phenomenal arm, it's one of those plays where, that's a play that has to be made, a routine grounder to short.
Seen Putz make that play before. We've also seen him have some trouble out there in the infield. An errant throw on the last one. Here's Blake Burke. First pitch to Burke, and he hits this very high and deep to right, but very far foul. That might actually land near the softball field. It does. There's a softball tournament going on here this afternoon as well at Monte Vista High School.
I do want to see someone hit one to the softball field. Hopefully when there's not softball players there, but I mean that's strength.
Blake Burke is strong enough to get it over there. About 15 feet away from the softball fence. The count 0-1, a runner on first. And Burke takes this to right field. Coming in is Ben Shoshan. He has to let it bounce in front of him. And there's runners on first and second. So Kramer on second. Burke now 1 for 2 with a single to right.
First baseman Sam.
And with nobody out, the Prune Packers are looking to strike back. Crawdads with a 3-0 lead. They use 4 hits. Score a couple of runs back in the bottom of the third. So far, Johnson has been very good. He did have some traffic to deal with in the top of the third. Crawford on second, Vulatic on first. But they couldn't go any farther as Holcroft flew out and Sunstrom K'd. So here's the left-handed bat of Sam Brown. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Setting up outside is Tajero. Looking back to second, a double take, and now a pickoff move over to second. Is the tag in there from Putz? It's not in time. But a good move shown there by Fisher Johnson, sliding in back safely. Joey Kramer.
Design pickoff move. I think they had Kramer leaning a little bit, but not able to get anything there.
Setting up outside again is Tajero. The pitch. This is chopped into the ground. High bounce, and Johnson just has to field it himself and throw over to Doroff for the out. But both runners are able to advance. Now runners in scoring position, 2 of them. Kramer moves up to third. Burke to second, and here comes Kimball Schusler. But Sam Brown 0 for 2. So Johnson has done a very good job against the middle of the order here.
Now this becomes exclusively a strikeout situation or an unproductive out situation, I should say. A pop-out would do the trick, a line out right at someone, a ground out, assuming that the runners don't go. But Johnson still trying to escape without a run.
As you mentioned, a line out, totally take that would the Crawdads. Kimball Schusler did line out to Duroff in his first at-bat. And the righty Johnson fires. Breaking ball that is fouled out of play. The count 0-1.
The Dads would take an unconventional double play.
We've seen a few of those this summer.
Sir Tyson Corio.
Tyson Corio's had a couple of them. Seen some throws home.
No Ryan Brome today.
Had that wild double play in San Luis Obispo, the run down between home plate and third.
Yeah.
And then
I was with Fisher Johnson.
Yeah, with Fisher Johnson and then getting the out. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball high, swung on and missed. The count 0-2. Johnson ramping it up right there, and he's ahead. Kimball Schusler, catcher from Texas, been very good for the Prune Packers. He's going to have to recalibrate here down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, but he's got a couple of men in scoring position that he would love to drive in. The Crawdads lead 3-0. Johnson delivers, and this is a slider that misses low in the dirt, trying to get Schusler to go after it, but Schusler disciplined and stands pat. A ball and 2 strikes. Just 2 hits so far for the visiting Prune Packers, but an error from Jude Putz allowed Joey Kramer to get on. He's over at third. And the 1-2 pitch, and that should be right there in the zone, and it is. So there was a check swing on that. A little bit of a late call from Constantine Bartlett, but it's a strikeout for Fisher Johnson, his 5th of the afternoon.
Well, that's exactly what Fisher Johnson needed there. He's able to get a strikeout, but not only that, a quick strikeout, able to just do it on 4 pitches. And, I mean, that was kind of the perfect scenario. Painted with 88.
He's been sitting low 80s with the breaking stuff, high 80s with the fastball. So here's Carson Crawford. First pitch to Crawford, and this misses low and outside. The count 1-0. Crawford, the shortstop today, is already 1 for 1. He had a hit right back up the box, ended up in center field. But already through 3 2/3 innings, Fisher Johnson pitching a gem, 5 strikeouts. Been very consistent. The 1-0 pitch, there's that slider, and it hits the zone. The count 1-1. Johnson has shown the ability to not only use the breaking ball to entice hitters to swing at it out of the zone, but he's been able to drop a few over the plate as well. Johnson is set. And the 1-1. And this is hit foul. That'll land past the bleachers. The count 1-2. After having 2 runners get on with nobody out, he's been able to induce a ground ball from Sam Brown. Big high chopper. And then the strikeout of Kimball Schusler. He's got a chance to do the same here to Carson Crawford. A ball and 2 strikes. Johnson trying to get through the 4th inning of work. The 1-2 pitch, and this misses high. The count even at 2-2.
Attempted the high cheese chase there, but really that just sets up any breaking ball down low, maybe a fastball to try to paint a corner.
See where Tajero sets up. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that slider. Johnson might try to bury one. He left one hanging to Sunstrom earlier in the ball game, but it was fouled away. Tajero sets up inside. Now the pitch. It's a fastball. This is fouled away once again. The count stays 2-2. So now, after 2 consecutive fastballs, it's a prime opportunity for Johnson to go to the slider or maybe even pull the string and whip out a changeup. The righty Crawford right on top of the plate. Johnson is set just below the belt. The 2-2 pitch. There's that slider looking for the outside corner. Doesn't get it. And the count runs full 3-2. What Fisher Johnson does not want to do is walk the number 7 hitter Carson Crawford and have Sam Hunt come up. Even though he's batting in the A spot, is hitting .326 coming into this ball game. So a payoff pitch with 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Johnson trying to preserve the lead for the Crawdads. They lead 3-0. The pitch, there's that slider, and it's fouled back into the backstop. The count stays 3-2. So he doubled up on the fastball, and then with the last 2 pitches, 2 consecutive sliders. Just looking for a way to get Carson Crawford out. Tajero puts the signals down. Relayed to Johnson, and he fires. There's a fastball that misses high, and that's a walk.
Really nice at bat for Carson Crawford. He kept fouling and fouling, and then was able to take just off the black a couple times.
Well, the bases are now loaded after some good discipline shown by Carson Crawford. He's still 1 for 1, been on base twice now. Sam Hunt, the designated hitter, stepping in. Hunt, the lefty batsman, flew out to left in his first at-bat in the 3rd. There's 2 away. The bases are occupied. Johnson looking for a strike. The first pitch here is a fastball that's hit very high into left field. Under it is Joey Donnelly, and he has it for out number 3. So Johnson able to get out of the jam. The bases were loaded with 2 away, but a big fly out there to left field. One that was much needed by the Crawdads. They still lead 3-0. Bottom of the 4th coming up when we return here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 4th inning, Crawdads in front, 3-0. Still Stoutenborough on the mound for the Prune Packers, as it'll be 7, 8, and 9. Bottom 3 in the order: Ben Shoshan, Zach Tahero, and then Jude Putz. First pitch to Ben Shoshan. It's in there for a strike. The count 0-1. Jack did reach in his first at-bat, but it was an error. The 0-1 pitch, Ben Show hits this on the ground, takes a couple of bounces over to the second baseman, Vulatic, who flips on to first for round number 1. Oh, here comes Zach Tajero, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to Vulatic, 4-3. Crawdads so far with 5 hits to go along with those 3 runs. And they've played a bit of a cleaner game than Healdsburg, 1 error.
I think the difference is the Crawdads error wasn't costly.
And didn't bring home any runs, and a couple that Healdsburg has had have really hurt them, as Tajero, goes after the first pitch and fouls it. Still trying to get into that rhythm, Austin, of saying Tajero after nearly a year and a half of
I know, you've called him for
calling him
2 summers.
Zach Tajero. Oh, it is Tajero, he informed us. The 0-1 pitch to Tajero, and he hits this on the ground. Tapper over to the first baseman, Brown, who has it, and steps on the bag himself for out number 2. Couple of quick at-bats here. Already 2 away. Here's Jude Putz, who's 1 for 1. Had a hit to left field. Was able to get it through the infield dirt. Birthday yesterday. Had some family in attendance in Sonoma. First pitch to Putz. It's an off-speed one right down the middle. The count 0-1. Putz has an error today out in the field. The 0-1 pitch, and there's a breaking ball that misses in and a little low, and the count even at a ball and a strike. But he has really settled down a lot. He's been a lot better than he was at the very start of the summer. Really, after he came back from Omaha, the 1-1 pitch, this misses low. He was there to watch his brother play for Notre Dame. He's been putting up some good rounds in BP as well, and been hitting the ball pretty hard. That's why he's 1 for 1 today, as this pitch misses low, and the count 3-1 to the number 9 hitter, Jude Putz, the dangerous Coleman Schmidt, waiting on deck, who already has a double today.
Jude Putz was sitting in 3-1 in his last at bat and then was able to sit fastball. I wonder if Stoutenborough will go to that same pitch here.
Stoutenborough fires, and Putz goes after it. Hits this to the opposite field. Is that going to drop in right? It does, and it's fair. Putz is 2 for 2, and he's on first.
He'll take it.
Base knock for Jude Putz. He will definitely take that. So he's hit one to left,
Coleman Schmidt.
low on the ground, and now able to go airborne to right field.
Isn't it funny that, Jude Putz has been seeing the ball really well. He's been hitting the ball hard but not able to find ground, and then 2 pretty softly hit balls just sprayed to the right place.
Putz using all of the field. We'll see if in his third at-bat he's able to go somewhere to center. Oh, here's Coleman Schmidt, 1 for 2. Had a double in the third, came around to score. As Putz has his lead off of first. Pitch to Schmidt is a fastball in the inner half for strike 1. 37 strikes, 18 balls so far for Stoutenborough. Just above that 2-to-1 ratio. Great place to be for a starting pitcher. Really for any pitcher. And the 0-1 to Schmidt. Schmidt makes a bid at this, but hits it high, and it's drifting into foul territory down the right field line, and it lands in the bullpen of the Crawdads. Making a long run there was Jared Sunstrom. Boy, we've seen him make some outstanding plays, but he was wary of the fencing there and kind of slowed up. The count is 0-2 now.
I don't blame him. This fence doesn't give much at all.
No.
The one out in right field is a little more comfortable than, I should say the one in foul territory is a little more comfortable than the one in dead right, but yeah, you don't want to run into that one.
Oh, and Sunstrom, he's a tough man. He had one where he banged up against the right field wall and just head first into it, charged into it to rob Donnelly of a home run. Leapt up there. Just banged right into it. Actually had 2 plays that game where he ran into the wall. Oh, Sunstrom built like a linebacker, but the count 0-2 here to Schmidt. Putz off of first. The 0-2. Schmidt goes down to get this ball. Hits it very high into right center. Coming on to make the catch is Sunstrom, calling off his center fielder Holcroft, and that's out number 3. Putz is able to get on with a hit to right, but he's stranded over at first. It is still 3-0 after 4. Top of the 5th coming up here on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the 5th inning, about to get started here. The Crawdads in front, 3-0 against the Healdsburg Prune Packers. There are some other games going to be played today in the CCL. At the Great Park in Irvine, the OC Riptide will host the Conejo Oaks at 4:35. At 6:05 p.m., the Arroyo Seco Saints will be at home against the Academy Barons in Pasadena, California. Up in Lincoln, the Lincoln Potters are at home against the Sonoma Stompers. And just getting started now in the top of the 1st, the Santa Barbara Foresters and the Blues down in San Luis Obispo at Sinsheimer Park. No score there yet. So here is Zack Vulatic. It's 9-1-2 for Johnson to face out there for his 5th inning of work. Vulatic walked in his first at-bat. First pitch to Vulatic is fastball in there for strike 1. Count 0-1. Vulatic at second today, batting in the 9 spot for Healdsburg, for Joey Gomes' team. And the 0-1, and this is fouled back over our broadcast booth, the DVB Insurance broadcast booth here at home in Danville, California. And the count 0-2 to Zack Vulatic. Also have another sponsor that is so great to talk about, Pete's Brass Rail. We're able to give us some gift cards and things like that that are going to be raffled here on one of these home games by our outstanding assistant general manager, Daniel Rainey.
Don't give him that much credit.
The 0-2 pitch, and this is a screamer out in the right field. That'll be a hit for Zack Vulatic. Going oppo there is Vuli, and here comes Jake Holcroft. The third, fourth, and fifth for Fisher Johnson. He has seen base runners on in all three of these frames. The first and second, though, he was able to go 1, 2, 3 a couple of times. It's gotten a little more difficult as the game has progressed. And the pitch to Holcroft is a slider that misses high and away. Trying to go to the outside there was Johnson, but missed. The 1-0 pitch, this misses low, and Johnson behind here 2-0, something that has really happened to Johnson over the past couple of frames. He's fallen behind some hitters, but he's been fortunate to get some flyouts, some pop-outs. We'll have to buckle down and fire a strike here to Jake Holcroft. The pitch to the center fielder Holcroft, and he hits this to left. It's going to hang up for Donnelly, who's under it, for out number 1. Good resilience shown there by Johnson, able to get back into the zone and not afraid of contact, trusting his outfield.
It's been a busy day for Joey Donnelly out and left.
He hasn't had to move a whole lot, though.
No, but a lot of balls hit to him.
Just really had to look up. But, yeah, you're right. A lot of balls hit to him. Holcroft has hit out to Donnelly twice. Sam Hunt as well. So here's Jared Sunstrom with 1 away. Big righty slugger takes a swing at this, hits this on the ground to Putz. The runner was in motion, so Putz just has to go to first for 1, and it pulls Duroff off the bag. That is the second time that Putz has made a poor throw over there to first, and it's costing the Crawdads 2 outs now. 1 with the first error, and now 1 here.
It's just hard. It seems like Jude Putz is 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
And he starts to make some progress and find some consistency, and then a couple of tough throws there for Doroth to handle that he just has to step off the bag to field as this pitch is swung on and missed, and the count 0-1 to Joey Kramer, who reached on a Jude Putz error in the 4th, and he struck out in the 1st. Runners on first and second for the mighty Prune Packers, the best team in the CCL and leading the North Division. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball swung on and missed. So a couple of swinging strikes up there for Joey Kramer.
Now 13 errors this summer for Jude Putz. Only trails Darcy of Slow and Mikey Bell of Sonoma.
Yeah, Mikey Bell has quite a few.
14 of them.
14. And you feel for Bell because he got banged up last night. The 0-2 pitch, and this is hit high in the air on the infield. Who's going to make the catch? And Ellis will let it drop, but the infield fly rule in effect.
Smart play, smart attempt.
Smart attempt to see if it's not going to be called and then try to double someone up. But 1 out there, so now there's 2 away. So here comes Blake Burke, who's in left field today. He's not DHing. He's not playing first base. He's getting a chance to see how tough it is. For some reason that Austin and myself still can't figure out why it's so tough to play left field here at Monte Vista. And the first pitch to Burke is a slider that finds the outside corner, and the count 0-1. Burke is 1 for 2 today. He popped out to Putz in the second. Pickoff move back here to second base, but sliding in safely is Vulatic. Count still 0-1. But Burke's hit was to right. Ended up making it all the way to second. The bases were loaded for the Prune Packers in the fourth as Johnson steps off. But the bases were loaded for the Prune Packers with 2 away in the fourth. And Johnson was able to get a fly out of Sam Hunt. 2 away here. 1 runner in scoring position. The 0-1 pitch. This is fouled out of play past the bullpen of the Prune Packers. And now we got some rumbling down here in the stands as some young Crawdads fans, some patrons here in Danville, California are going to go run after that ball. The count 0-2, Johnson ahead. Readjust the cap. Now he's back on the slab. See where Tajero sets up here. He's setting up inside, so it looks like they're going to come into Burke. And there's a slider that was left hanging but popped up very high. Ellis looking at it in foul territory, and he has it for out number 3. So Johnson has been immaculate with runners on. 2 are stranded here. It is still 3-0 Crawdads. Bottom of the 5th coming up when we return here on the Crawdads streaming network. Sam Stoutenborough's day is done for the Prune Packers, so the starter is out. There's a new man in from the bullpen. It is Austin Erlicher, who comes in with a 1.28 ERA. No wins, no losses. This will be his 6th appearance. He's also made 4 starts. He's thrown 14 innings, 14 strikeouts to 7 walks, so a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. He's given up 12 hits in those 14 innings, so 12 hits, 7 walks, and 14 could be susceptible here against the Crawdads. He has faced the Crawdads once. That was in that July 3rd game that the Dads won 4-3. Erlicher pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 4, faced 15. So here's Tyson Corio. It's Corio, Ellis, and Tears for the Crawdads. And the first pitch in here to Corio misses, and the count 1-0. Corio ready to see the 1-0 pitch. Here it is, and he takes low. The count 2-0. The final line on today's starter for the Prune Packers, Sam Stoutenborough. 4 innings, 6 hits he gave up, 3 runs total, 2 of them earned, struck out 2, faced 19, didn't walk anybody. So it's solid start out of Stoutenborough, but it's 3-0 Crawdads as Corio goes after this and hits it almost right at first base umpire Matt Bolas, and the count 2-1. Corio, 1 for 2 today. Had an RBI single to left. Got his second home run of the summer last night. The 2-1 pitch, and that's in there on the inside corner for strike number 2. The count 2-2 to the Crawdads leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 5th. Taking a deep breath out there is Erlicher. Kicks the leg and deals. Corio hits this, takes a bounce on the infield dirt. It's fielded by the second baseman Vulatic, who gets it on to first, and plenty of time to retire Corio, 1 away.
Third baseman Ryan Ellis.
Here's Ryan Ellis, who's also 1 for 2 this afternoon. Had an RBI hit to left. Crawdads have done a very good job, the lefties that is, as Ellis steps into the left-handed side. They've done a very good job of going opposite field. Pitch here to Ellis, and Ellis goes opposite field once again, but that will drop just foul. Ellis was already thinking about 2. That ball, if it stayed fair, was going to kick up in the corner around there near the 325 sign and the foul pole. But the count 0-1 to Ryan Ellis. Prune Packers have really dominated against the Crawdads. The one time they did lose to the Dads was here in Danville. That was a walk-off victory for the Crawdads as this pitch misses away. The count 1-1. Kavares Tears was able to drive a ball deep enough to score a runner from third. And the 1-1 to Ellis, and he takes a big hack here and gonna have to wring the hands out a little bit there. And the count 1-2. Ellis swung that like he would swing an axe to cut a tree down. It's a vicious swing. But he's back in, getting a little break from Constantine Bartlett. Bartlett halted play for a moment, and now we're ready to go again. Holcroft in center, slightly shaded to the left. The 1-2 pitch to Ellis. Ellis hits this into center, looping, and it's going to drop into the glove of Holcroft for the second out. Ellis now 1 for 3, and here comes Kavares Tears, who was struck out in the second. And grounded out 1-3 in the third, but it was a productive out that was able to move some runners up. Unfortunately for the Crawdads, they then produced a pop-up from Brian Duroff and a backwards K from Joey Donnelly. So there's 2 away here, nobody on base. Kavares Tears hoping to see a fastball that he can get a hold of, I'm sure. Tears came into this game hitting .250, 3 home runs, 18 RBIs. And Tears goes up the middle with this, but it's fielded by Vulatic down on a knee. Now he'll throw over to first, and he gets the speedy Kavares Tears just in the nick of time. So the Crawdads not able to get any base runners here in the bottom of the 5th. It is still 3-0, however. The Dads lead over the Prune Packers. Top of the 6th inning coming up when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Top of the 6th inning, still Fisher Johnson on the mound. He is going deep into this one. It's 5, 6, and 7 for the Prune Packers. Sam Brown, the first baseman, then Kimball Schusler, the catcher, and the shortstop Carson Crawford up to bat this half inning. That's the minimum. Brown is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. And on deck, Kimball Schusler, who is also 0 for 2. Johnson has been very good at navigating through a stout lineup that the Prune Packers always seem to put out there as he fires a breaking ball in there for a strike, gets Sam Brown swinging. And the count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, and that is foul tipped into the ground, and the count 0-2. Crawdads on a 4-game losing streak coming in to this afternoon's contest. Thought that they had a just golden opportunity in front of them yesterday against last place Sonoma. They weren't able to pull out a victory. They had Hollis Fanning on the mound, who was excellent. Only gave up 1 earned run. But the Crawdads fell 4-3. The 0-2 pitch, and this is hit on the ground, takes a couple of hops over to Duroff, who has it, and flips to the covering pitcher Johnson for out number 1. Seen that happen a couple of times now to Sam Brown, where he's hit a ball into the ground, not able to elevate, and he is now 0 for 3. Here's Kimball Schusler with 1 away. I mentioned yesterday on the broadcast the Crawdads had traveled over 1,100 miles in the past week. They are so happy to be at home this afternoon. They were road warriors for a while. Pitch here to Schusler, misses low. The count 1-0. And even though they do get the nice charter bus, get to sleep in a night's hotel and all that good stuff, you're still on the road. You're not sleeping in your own bed. Longer trips to the ballpark. You're not in your usual rhythm. The 1-0 pitch, and this is hit into the sky, into left center. Under it is Schmidt, right before the warning track, and he has it for out number 2.
Shortstop, Carson Crawford.
Here comes the shortstop, Carson Crawford, who's 1 for 1. Had a hit to center field and then walked in the 4th. Johnson has only surrendered 3 hits so far, and he's up at 70 pitches, 51 strikes, 19 balls through 5 2/3 innings of work. First pitch here, there's a slider that hits the plate but misses low below the knees, and the count 1-0. Crawdads got some good news as well yesterday as the 1-0 pitch comes in here. This is hit foul down the third base line. The count 1-1, but they're sending 6 individuals to the All-Star game. Saw 1 pitch last night. That was Hollis Fanning. Rome and Duroff getting the nod. Coleman Schmidt. Gabe Tanner. And the 1-1 pitch. This misses high. The count 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, and this bounces up to Tejero, who blocks it. The count 3-1, so there is a defensive switch here. Get that cleared up. Ryan Ellis is now over at shortstop. Jude Putz is out of the game. And Joe Barnhart getting a look over at third. The count 3-1 here to Carson Crawford. Righty Johnson fires. This is hit over to Ellis, who's now at short. He has it, makes a strong throw over to Doroff, and a good stretch to get Crawford for the 3rd out in the top of the 6th. Fisher Johnson has been outstanding, able to put up 6 scoreless frames now, and it is still 3-0 Crawdads. The bottom of the 6th coming up here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Crawdads in front, 3-0 over the first place Healdsburg Prune Packers. They've done a very good job today. They've gotten a great performance so far out of Fisher Johnson on the mound, 74 pitches. Still to let in a run. There is a defensive switch for the Prune Packers as well. So Jude Putz, just to update you, out of the game for the Crawdads. Ellis moved over to the short, Barnhart in at third. But for the Prune Packers, who are now out in the field, it's Joe Brown in right for Jared Sunstrom. They're coming up to bat, Brian Duroff leading things off here in the bottom of the 6th. Then it'll be Joey Donnelly and Jack Ben Shoshan. Duroff, 1 for 2. Had a single, was able to advance to second on an error as this pitch misses low and in, and the count 1-0. Crawdads have played the Prune Packers very tough today, as well as the last time they faced off here in Danville, California, a 4-3 victory for the Crawdads. 1-0 pitch, Duroff hits this, but foul on the left side, and the count even at a ball and a strike. Doroth been back now for about 3 days from a minor hand injury. He took a pitch right in there on the fingers. At least that's what it looked like to us up here in the broadcast booth. Actually wore it on the bottom portion of the hand, the 1-1 pitch. This misses low and away, the count 2-1. So it hit the meaty part of the hand, where you would do maybe a karate chop if you're a martial artist. And the count 2 balls and a strike. Erlicher delivers. And there's a breaking ball in there for a strike. And the count 2-2.
How fast is that?
The Crawdads were not able to get anybody on base in the 5th. Breaking a nice little streak they had going back to the 2nd inning as Duroff swings and misses here. That's a strikeout. Doroth now 1 for 3. And there's one away.
Fielder Joey Donnelly.
All the games remaining this summer for the Crawdads in the regular season. They are all against CCL North opponents. So all the games important. No more out-of-division games. And this pitch runs in, and it does not hit Donnelly on the shoe top. The count 1-0. Donnelly 0 for 2 today. Was put out 6-3 and a strikeout looking in the 3rd. So 1 for 28. About the last week. The 1-0 pitch misses high. There was a check swing there from Donnelly. No appeal from Schuessler over to the third base umpire, Wyatt Hill. Count 2-0. Donnelly was one of the hottest hitters earlier this season for the Crawdads. Here's a fastball trying to paint the outside corner was Erlicher, but he misses. And the count 3 balls and no strikes. Crawdads trying to stay in second place. There's still a little bit of a battle for first. Healdsburg, though, has just been so consistent. The 3-0 pitch. Donnelly has the green light, hits this into left center, but a leaping catch made out there by Jake Holcroft. Holcroft showing off the hops and the reach. And lucky that didn't get over his head. That ball was hit on the screws by Joey Donnelly. And unfortunately for Donnelly, a very hard hit ball, but it's an out all the same. He's now 1 hit in his last 29 at-bats. Pardon the interruption, folks. Able to get the stream back online. The count 1-1 up here to Joe Barnhart, who's inserted for Jude Putz. There are runners on first and second. Couple of base hits from both Jack Ben Shoshan and Zach Vulatic. And Barnhart up in the count, 2-1. Righty against righty here. Erlicher still in the game for the Prune Packers in relief of Stoutenborough. Looks back to second, just keeping tabs on Ben Show. The 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball that was right there for Barnhart to hit, but he was out in front. And the count 2-2. Barnhart just with 1 home run and an RBI so far this summer. But he is extremely strong. He is a very powerful man. If you watch him take his BP, you'll see a show. This pitch is checked on by Barnhart. He's able to foul tip it. He'll stay alive. The count stays at 2-2. So tomorrow back here in Danville, California, the Crawdads will have a chance to maybe pick up some more ground or at least stay on pace in second place against the Lincoln Potters. Crawdads just 1-7 in their last 8. The 2-2 pitch, and Barnhart lets this one drift outside. The count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Barnhart is going to see a pitch here, you would think, unless Erlicher is errant. Barnhart's got to swing the bat. If something is close, he's got to go after it. But at the same time, stay disciplined and not go wild. Stepping off here, faking over to second is Erlicher. Maybe disrupting the rhythm during this at-bat here. And the payoff pitch, the runners go. Barnhart hits this on the ground, but it's foul. Takes a big old bounce. And we'll do 3-2 again. Crawdads leading 3-0. 8 hits so far today. An infield single this inning from Jack Ben Shoshan. Zach Vulatic, who does such a good job hitting against CCL opponents, was able to drill one into the outfield. And stepping off here is Erlicher. And the 3-2. This is fouled away. So another payoff pitch, the third in this at-bat to Joe Barnhart, who's seeing his first at-bat of the afternoon, was not originally penciled into the lineup. Have seen Barnhart DH recently. Jude Putz, though, making a couple of errors this afternoon, being switched out. Barnhart will get his first at-bat once this concludes. The payoff pitch to Joe, and he takes high and in, and he did not swing. There's an appeal over to first, but he did not go. Matt Bolus indicates that Barnhart did not break the plane, and now the bases are loaded.
Center fielder Coleman Schmidt.
So with the Crawdads up 3-0, they have an opportunity here with 2 away. And the number 1 hitter in the lineup, Coleman Schmidt, coming up to bat. The righty Schmidt against the right-handed pitcher, Erlicher. Schmidt 1 for 3 today, double in the 3rd. Lined out to center in the 1st, flew out to right in the 4th. So he's been putting the bat on the ball today. No strikeouts yet for Coleman Schmidt. The first pitch to Schmidt is a fastball that misses high. The count 1-0. Schmidt going to be at that All-Star game on the 20th. That'll be carried by Bally Sports. Be able to watch it there. CCL, I know, is also working on getting a live stream link out of some sort. So that way, if Bally is not in your cable package or your over-the-top, that's if you're a streamer, things like Fubo and Roku. But they're working on getting a stream link so everybody can watch. The 1-0 pitch to Schmidt. This misses high. The count 2 balls and no strikes. Coleman Schmidt, a couple of easy takes for him. Those were about caller high. And something that is a little out of the ordinary today at Monte Vista. The wind is blowing out, not in. The 2-0 pitch to Schmidt, and this is up around his head. He ducks under it. Ball bounces back off the backstop right to Kimball Schuessler, the catcher. The runner's not able to advance. The count 3-0. Coleman Schmidt has been so prolific this season at putting the ball into the gaps or getting it over the fence. 8 home runs, 28 RBIs. He's in a 3-0 count here with the Crawdads leading 3-0 and 2 away. Erlicher has to fire a strike, kicks the leg and deals, and Schmidt taking all the way there. The count now 3-1. So if he didn't have the go sign on that last pitch, he definitely does here, although Erlicher has been off kilter and inconsistent. The 3-1 pitch, and Schmidt saw a pitch up in the zone, a little bit away, high and away that he went after, fouls it out of play. The count runs full. Three balls, 2 strikes to Coleman Schmidt, the most dangerous hitter in the Crawdads lineup. Bases are loaded. Schmidt going to stay alive and see another pitch. Ben Shoshan over at third, Tajero over at second, Joe Barnhart at first. With 2 away, the infield can play standard depth. But the runners will take off with the pitch. The 3-2 to Schmidt. He skies this high into left field. Running back is Blake Burke. And he is going to watch that baby leave the park. Kiss that baby goodbye. A grand slam for Coleman Schmidt. It is now 7-0 Crawdads. Coleman Schmidt with his 9th home run of the summer. And it's a big old banger right there. It is now 7-0. The Crawdads jumping all over the Prune Packers here in Danville.
Wait, the ball.
Oh, Tyson Corio coming up after the big blast from Coleman Schmidt. And what a moment for Schmitty. So the wind blowing out today may be helping Coleman Schmidt. I mentioned that during the at-bat. As Tyson Corio takes a strike on the outside portion of the plate there, the count 0-1. But it is now 7-0. Crawdads getting a little bit of revenge for that 12-0 shellacking that they took earlier this week in Healdsburg. One pitch misses high. The count 2-1 to Corio. Coleman Schmidt with a grand slam. Just incredible. One of the days where you hope maybe a scout is in attendance, if you're Coleman Schmidt. The 2-1 pitch to Corio. He hits this to left. It is high, but it's going to stay up there for Burke in left to make the catch for out number 3, but not before Coleman Schmidt clears the bases with a huge grand slam into left center. That ball traveled a long way. So it is 7-0 Crawdads. They lead the first place Healdsburg Prune Packers right now. Top of the 7th coming up. Austin Oda back on the play-by-play here for you on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network.
Well, since I last saw you, the Dads have distanced a little bit. 7-0 now. Coleman Schmidt's grand slam, the second of the summer for Schmitty. Man, the legend of Coleman Schmidt just keeps growing here in Danville, California. The Crawdads lead it 7-0. A new pitcher for the Dads is the big righty Zach Button.
Leading off for Healdsburg on the top of the
Button
seventh,
so far this summer
designated hitter number 18, Sam Hunt.
without a decision in 2 appearances, 5 innings, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. He's been really good, a 1.8 ERA. He'll be facing Sam Hunt, Zack Vulatic, and then Jake Holcroft. First pitch, way outside with a fastball, 1-0. The final line on Mr. Fisher Johnson, he was just fantastic. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and most importantly, no runs. 1-0 is a slider that misses a little tight, maybe a little low. 2-0. Button to Hunt, who's 0 for 2. Way up high, 3-0. To Sam Hunt with Zack Vulatic waiting on deck. Button delivers right down the middle. Strike 1, 3-1. In other CCL action right now, there's only one other game going on right now. Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo. The Foresters lead 1-0 in the bottom of the third as Button gets a called strike off the outer black. Hunt tosses his bat, but it's strike 2 anyway. The Conejo Oaks will be playing the OC Riptide later tonight, as will the Academy Barons and the Arroyo Seco Saints. And other CCL North news, the Stompers and the Potters. Three balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, Sam Hunt. Button trying to set him down after being behind 3-0. This ball's crushed into deep right center. Ben Shoshan going back, and it's over his head and takes a bounce up against the wall. Schmidt up and firing. His throw to second is just a little late outside of the outstretched glove of Ryan Ellis, and Sam Hunt leads off the 7th inning with a double.
Second baseman Sam Vulatic.
4th hit of the day for Healdsburg. And it'll bring up Zack Vulatic, who's 1 for 1. Singled and walked. First pitch, Vulatic called strike 1 on a slider, 0-1. 0-1 to Zack Vulatic with Sam Hunt on second. 7-0. The Crawdads lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Zach Button, the 0-1. Smashed over the head of Barnhart, leaping at third and into the left field corner. Donnelly's up with it. Sam Hunt's going to come around to score and into second standing. 2 straight doubles for the Packers, and it's 7-1. Now that Coleman Schmidt grand slam starting to look a lot better. 7-1 looks much more comfortable than 3-1 would have. And it'll bring up Jake Holcroft. 0 for 3 today is Holcroft. Button just trying to keep 7 off the board. He'd like to keep it at 1 with a runner on second. First pitch, Holcroft flips this one foul off to the left, 0-1. The 0-1. Slider called strike 2 on the outside. 0-2. The 2-strike pitch to the leadoff hitter Holcroft. With Vulatic on second, Button fires. Strike 3 swinging, got him on the big slider for the first out of the inning. A nice bounce back for Zach Button. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Jake Holcroft is sent down for the 4th time today.
Right fielder, Joe Brown.
Now Jared Sunstrom, who's also 0 for 3, and actually it's Joe Brown who came in to play right field. Interesting to see Jared Sunstrom taken out of the game so early, though he was 0 for 3. First pitch to Brown is up high. Joe Brown comes into this game, 256 average, yet to clear the fences, 7 runs batted in. The 1-0. Brown leaves ball 2 up high, 2-0. Button struggling to find the zone here so far today. The 2-0. Big swing and a miss. Brown loses the handle and tosses the bat back into the Healdsburg dugout, and it's 2-1. So, Joe Brown's going to get a new bat. It's the bat's fault. It's not his. Two and 1 to Joe Brown. Button comes set just above the belt. Right in the middle of the rubber. Kicks and deals. Foul flipped back. Right in front of us on the screen, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The runner on second, Zack Vulatic. Button delivers. Slider. Called strike 3 on the inner edge. Joe Brown's not happy with it. The second straight strikeout for Zach Buttons, the second out of the inning.
Third baseman, Joey Kramer.
Now Joey Kramer. The top 3 in this lineup, Jake Holcroft, Jared Sunstrom, and Joey Kramer. And, of course, you can add Joe Brown to that. Combined 0 for 11. 0 for 11 with 5 Ks today are the top 3 in the Healdsburg lineup, and that'll play. First pitch to Kramer. Slider called strike 1. When Zach Button's able to get that arm slot with the slider, I mean, that's unhittable. Oh, and 1 to Joey Kramer. The big power hitter. Button fires, and Kramer pops it high, but foul. 0-2. The 0-2 to Joey Kramer. Button induces a ground ball, foul. Oh, 0-2 to Joey Kramer. Button trying to set down the 3rd straight with strikes. Tajero sets on the outside. Button fires. Slider, strike 3 called. 3 straight strikeouts. Zach Button really comes to settle it down. Constantine Bartlett said it's down the middle. A little bit of an argument between Joey Kramer and Constantine Bartlett. Well, you can hear Constantine there. He's not making many friends up in the Healdsburg dugout today. 7-1 when we come back after the 7th inning stretch here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. A new pitcher for Healdsburg, who trails 7-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's the big man, Derek Bridges. Bridges, it's been a weird story for him so far this summer. He's 1-0. He has 20 strikeouts in 10 innings. That looks great. But then you see the 8 walks and the 6.09 ERA. And, you can say he's struggled. He'll be facing Ryan Ellis, Kavaris Tears, and Brian Duroff. 3, 4, 5. Bridges, a high set from the left side, then he brings it down. The first pitch to Ellis is a fastball, called strike one, by Constantine Bartlett. No balls, 1 strike to the little lefty, Ryan Ellis. Ellis takes strike 2, big slider, 0-2. Ellis now needs to battle. Behind in the count, 0-2. Bridges has his arms held at his letters, then brings them down to the belts, the 0-2. Ellis does stay alive, fouling it off past the left field side. No balls, 2 strikes from Derek Bridges, who's looking for strikeout number 21 of the summer. The 0-2. Bridges misses up high. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Ellis, who is 1 for 3 on the day with a single and a ground out and a pop-up. Bridges fires. Ellis takes way outside with the slider, 2-2. 7-1 the score here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Glad you're joining us here in the broadcast booth, the DVB broadcast booth. 2-2, Bridges. Peers in for the sign, now gets the one he likes. The 2-2. Fastball outside corner, called strike 3. Ellis goes down looking for the first out of the inning.
Designated hitter, Kavaris Kavaris Tears.
Now Kavaris Tears, the big lefty. Tears 0 for 3 today. Tears has grounded out twice and also struck out in his first at bat. First pitch of Tears' fourth at bat is outside with a slider, 1-0. Bridges, the big burly lefty, features a pretty heavy fastball and a big sweeping slider. The 1-0. Tears takes that slider that misses a little low, 2-0. Tears likely sitting fastball here. We'll see if he gets one. The 2-0. Fastball. Called strike one. 2-1. A lot of these Crawdads have a tendency to, if they go ahead in the count 2-0, 3-0, they'll take almost no matter what. And sometimes that 2-0 is the best thing they'll see, and it's become detrimental to them at times. The 2-1, there's that same fastball called strike two. So Tears was ahead 2-2. He elected to not swing at the 2-0 fastball that was right there, and now he's in danger of striking out for the second time today. The 2-2. Tears strikes out swinging. Big fastball, and he couldn't catch up to it for the second out of the inning.
First baseman Brian Duroff.
Now Brian Doroff, who's 1 for 3 today with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Crawdads came into today needing a win, and they're well on their way to doing so. Knock on wood. First pitch, Duroff chops this one past third, foul. He sat way back on that changeup, but was still out in front of it. 0-1. Own one to the big first baseman, recently named an all-star, was Brian Duroff. The 0-1, way up high, 1-1. Duroff looking to pass the bat to Joey Donnelly, who waits on deck. Bridges, pumps and fires the 1-1. Chopper, third base side, fouled again, past John Jensen in the third base coaching box. So 1-2 to Duroff, who struck out in his last at bat, looking to fare differently here. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Bridges delivers. Duroff. It's a high pop-up, right side. Brown in right field, right under it. Doesn't even have to move for the third out of the inning. The Dads go down quietly. They'll send Zach Button out for his second inning of work. 7-1, the Crawdads lead here on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the 8th here, Zach Button back out to the bump. He gave up 2 straight doubles, but then struck out 3 straight. So give and take from Zach Button. And he'll be facing the big Blake Burke, Sam Brown, and Kimball Schusler here in the top of the 8th. Burke today, 1 for 3 with a single and a couple pop-ups. First pitch, slider, down low, 1-0. Button fires. Burke takes strike 1 on a fastball. Little two-seam action on that one, coming back in towards the middle half. Button trying to establish himself in this bullpen that's lost a couple big arms recently. 1-1. Button delivers. Fastball called strike 2. Button last year at Cal Poly slow. He showed the ability to go multiple innings. They would use an opener usually, then he would come in and be the bulk guy. Had 8 wins. The 1-2. Burke takes down low. Did he swing? No, he did not, says Wyatt Hill over at third. 2-2. Button trying to attack one of the best hitters in the CCL. The 2-2. Slider hit high and deep to right field, and, well, that one is way gone. Blake Burke sent that one into orbit. The 6th home run of the summer for Blake Burke makes it 7-2.
First baseman Sam Brown.
That'll bring up Sam Brown, who's 0 for 3. Burke's 2nd hit of the day. 7-2 now. Crawdads still have a little bit of breathing room, but knowing how good this Healdsburg team is, you don't want to bring it any closer than where it sits right now. First pitch, fastball just a little high, 1-0. Brown has hit the ball straight into the ground a couple times and also struck out. He pops this one high in the air, shallow center. Schmidt circles under it, reaches up, and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So a nice bounce back for Zach Button, who gets the first out. And now it'll be Kimball Schusler. Any day you can hold Sam Brown to an offer, Kimball Schusler to an offer, the top 3 of Holcroft, Sunstrom, and Kramer to an offer. The Dads are doing something right out there on the bump. Schusler lined out to Doroff softly in the first at-bat, then struck out looking in his second and flew out to Coleman Schmidt his last time. Button's first pitch. Schusler hits this one hard, but right at Schmidt, who barely has to move and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 straight plays with action for Coleman Schmidt, and it'll bring up Carson Crawford. Crawford, the shortstop from Cal, having a solid day, 1 for 2.
Shortstop Carson.
Also walked. Did make a costly error at shortstop earlier today. Button trying to end this inning, get the Dads' bats back up, and then come right back out and do it again. First pitch on its way. Crawford takes outside, 1-0. 7-2, the Crawdads lead here in the top of the 8th inning. All of the breaks that had gone against the Crawdads recently starting to drop today as the 1-0. Crawford chops this one back behind the screen, foul. 1-1. You could hear Constantine Bartlett. 3 baseballs, please, respectfully. If you you say please, you get what you want. Outs in 13 innings to 9 walks. Only 5 hits allowed in 13 innings. He'll be facing Joey Donnelly, Jack Ben Shoshan, and Zach Tajero. Donnelly 0 for 3. First pitch, Donnelly takes a fastball outside. 92, first pitch from McDonough. The 1-0. Donnelly takes right down the middle. 1-1. McDonough, a former Shocker over at Wichita State. 6'4" righty. The 1-1. Donnelly takes. Strike 2 called. 92 again with the fastball. I mean, this Healdsburg bullpen, they have Jason Franks, who can get it up to 95. Elijah Birdsong, who can get it up to 95. Derek Bridges, who sits low 9s. As the 1-2, McDonough misses just outside with the fastball. Schussler thought he had that one, and he was up and ready to throw to his third baseman. Donnelly stayed in the box, and Schussler's not happy with it. And I think that one might just cost Schussler a ball on another close pitch. We'll see where McDonough goes here. The 2-2 to Donnelly. McDonough brings his hands close and fires. Misses way inside. 3-2. So maybe a little shaken up is Francis McDonough after he really threw a perfect pitch on 1-2 and was unable to get the call. Now 3-2. Donnelly strikes out swinging a heavy fastball up in the zone. And that's the first out of the inning. Now 1 for 30. And his last 30 at bats is Joey Donnelly. So the struggles continue for the guy that at one point was maybe the best hitter on this Crawdads team, or at least one of them. It'll bring up Jack Ben Shoshan, who was able to get on base his last time up. He has gotten on base 2 times today, both on ground balls, 1 an error, 1 a hit. First pitch, a slider, called strike 1. So when you're able to back up that heavy fastball with a nice off-speed pitch to complement it, this kid's good. 0-1. Tries that same slider, but misses a little too high. 1-1.
Oh, come on.
One of the Healdsburg players saying it's been there all day. That was up all day. 1-1. Ben Shoshan takes on the outside. 1-2.
Yeah.
The Healdsburg players right now right next to our field mic. You're picking up just about everything they're saying. 1-2 to Ben Show. McDonough brings his hands separate from his body. He now fires. Slider. Ooh, just a little low, maybe a touch inside. 2-2.
What?
Looked tight to me. The Healdsburg players in disagreement. The 2-2, Ben Shoshan stays alive. Hits this one hard and foul. McDonough, I can't say only, but he sits about 90, 91. It just looks like it's a lot heavier than that out of the hand with that weird snapping arm motion. The 2-2. Ben Show takes way outside, 3-2. Kind of like elastic from Francis McDonough. Just zips it in there. Ben Show, the second straight Crawdad to be in a 3-2 count. McDonough delivers, and Ben Shoshan stays alive, pops it foul, off the fists. Count stays full. McDonough comes set. The 3-2. Ben Shoshan stays alive. Tips the slider back. somehow, some way, he's fighting. Three balls, two strikes, one out. The Crawdads lead 7-2. Ben Shoshan steps back in the box. McDonough finally gets the sign he likes. The payoff pitch. Ben Shoshan takes down low, ball 4. Great at bat from Jack. Now Zack Vulatic, the backstop, who's also had a nice day at the plate. 1 for 3. He had a single in his last at-bat. Came around to score on Coleman Schmidt's big fly. As always, Vulatic playing a very solid game behind the plate as well. First pitch to the Crawdads catcher is down low, 1-0. The back three of this lineup, we mentioned before the game that was the big spot for the Dads to try to come through as Vulatic flips this back foul. The back three, Jack Ben Shoshan reached base 3 times. Zack Vulatic reached base once. The 9 spot Jude Putz and Joe Barnhart have reached base 3 times. 7 times reaching base from your last 3 hitters in their 10 at-bats. I mean, that's phenomenal. 1-2 to Vulatic. McDonough nods his head. The 1-2. Fastball fouled off the glove of Schusler. The count stays at 1-2. Ben Shoshan, the runner on first. Vulatic, the hitter, with Joe Barnhart on deck. Pickoff move. They had Ben Shoshan leaning, but he's back in just ahead of the throw. The 1-2. Vulatic stays alive once again. Just gets enough of the bat on it to hit it foul. This Healdsburg team just not looking as inspired as they did the other day. They look a little down, a little tired. Crawdads came out hungry. The 1-2. Vulatic takes down and in, ball 2. I think Coleman Schmidt's grand slam was really kind of the backbreaker up to this point at least. 7-2. 2-2 to Vulatic. And he takes outside, ball 3. 2 straight phenomenal at-bats for these Crawdads. Full count pitch to Zack Vulatic. McDonough comes set and fires. Vulatic takes ball 4 up high. Wow. 2 straight terrific at-bats for these Crawdads. Now they have 2 on with just 1 out.
Third baseman Joe Barnhart.
8 times out of the 11 at-bats, the bottom 3 have reached base today. Coming into the game, that was the big thing for these Crawdads is, what are we going to do with the back half? What is Jude Putz going to do in the 9 spot? Is he going to set the table for Coleman Schmidt? What are Zack Vulatic and Jack Ben Shoshan going to do? And all they've done is get on base. Let the top of the lineup work. Now Joe Barnhart, who had a very good at-bat, walked in his first time, takes ball 1. No, called strike 1, a ball that looked like it bounced. So Constantine Bartlett maybe given a strike there. I mean, Schusler came up with a cloud of dust. The 0-1, Barnhart takes up and in, 1-1. Barnhart trying to pass the bat to Coleman Schmidt. The 1-1. Barnhart takes down low, 2-1. No one warming up in the Packers bullpen, so this inning is all Francis McDonough, who had been so good up to this point, though he has given up earned runs in each of his last 2 outings. The most recent, the walk-off one to Solano as the 2-1 misses high, 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike. Barnhart, we'll see if he has the green light with McDonough on the mound. He sets, deals. Barnhart fouls it off over towards the softball field, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Crawdads lead 7-2, always trying to add on. McDonough comes set. The 3-2 to Barnhart. Up high, ball 4. Did he go? No, he did not. And Joe Barnhart has walked to load the bases. 3 straight walks for the Crawdads. And, well, the last time Coleman Schmidt hit with the bases loaded, it ended pretty well, didn't it? Schmidt sitting at 9 home runs this summer. Jared Sunstrom just yesterday became the first player in CCL to hit double digits in home runs. Now Coleman Schmidt maybe trying to match that. 7-2 is the score. The bases are loaded. Schmidt in a big spot. The Dads lead by 5, but they need to add on. First pitch. Schmidt looking for the fences, swings through a fastball, 0-1. McDonough comes set. The 0-1. Schmidt swings and misses again, 0-2. I think it's pretty clear what Coleman Schmidt's trying to do here. He is 2 for 4 on the day with a double and a home run. That home run, a grand slam. So another productive day at the office for Schmitty. The 0-2, left outside, 1-2. The 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Schmidt takes up high, ball 2. McDonough has walked 3 straight, now has a 2 strike count, but 2 balls also to Coleman Schmidt, the most dangerous hitter in this Crawdads lineup. He sets the 2-2. High pop up, right side. Brown under it. Now Vulatic gives it over back to Brown again, who makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So, not the grand slam for Coleman Schmidt. But the bases are still loaded, 2 outs. 2 for 5 now is Schmitty. That'll bring up Tyson Corio, the 2-hitter. Corio, pretty productive day, 1 for 4. First pitch. Corio takes right down Broadway, 0-1. McDonough has loaded the bases, but no runs have come across yet. The 0-1, Corio takes up and in, 1-1. The runner on third, Ben Shoshan. The runner on second, Tajero. The runner on first, Barnhart. With Tyson Corio, the second baseman, at the plate. McDonough's 1-1 pitch. Corio fouls it back off of Schussler. 1-2. Ball retrieved out there by the big righty Noah Zirkel, who I have no idea how he's wearing a sweatshirt right now. Zirkel and Zach Tajero are always in sweatshirts somehow, no matter the weather. The 1-2. Corio takes way outside, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Tyson Corio, trying to do some damage here with the bases loaded. McDonough comes set. Takes a deep breath. He fires. Corio hits it high and deep out to center field. Holcroft going back. That ball's gone. Tyson Corio grand slam. 2 straight days with a Tyson Corio home run. 2 grand slams in the same day. And the Crawdads are putting it on against the top team in the North. Wow. Three home runs now this summer for Tyson Corio, and the Crawdads lead 11-2.
Third baseman Ryan Ellis.
Now Ryan Ellis, first pitch. He lines this one into right field, coming on Brown, and it drops in front of him. And Ellis is going to stop it first with a base hit. 11-2 the score. Crawdads are just all over the Packers right now. Now Dylan Devitt starting to throw in the Crawdads bullpen. We'll see if he comes in for the 9th. First pitch to Guevara's Tears, who's 0 for 4. Tears takes down and in with a slider, 1-0. The 1-0. Tears flips this one into left field and shallow. Burke coming in, and he catches it on the run for the 3rd out. But the Crawdads score 4 times on just 1 hit. But it's a big one. The Tyson Corio grand slam makes it 11-2 when we come back. The top of the 9th inning here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Top of the 9th inning, the Crawdads in a commanding 11-2 lead. Dylan Devitt, the new pitcher of the day for Zach Button, is over. Button was solid. 2 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, but 3 strikeouts. Dylan Devitt, the new arm, on the bump. So far this summer, Devitt's been solid. 8 innings over 6 games, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 earned runs, a 2.16 ERA. He does have a save. This, of course, is not a save situation. Crawdads leading by 9. Sam Hunt, Zack Vulatic, and then Jake Holcroft at the top of the lineup are due to hit. If you're Dylan Devitt right now, just throw some strikes, kid. First pitch to Sam Hunt is a strike. 0-1. Dylan Devitt, who has the nickname QB1. Of course, the quarterback at Monte Vista last year, a 3-star quarterback prospect. Instead playing baseball, looking to play baseball at San Diego State next year. The 0-1. Slider misses low. Trying to walk on for San Diego State next spring. Of course, trying to improve that stock by playing here in summer ball as the 1-1 is flipped foul off the fist. 1-2. The 1-2 strike pitch. Devitt fires a fastball in at 85, fouled back to the screen. 1-2 stays the count. There's a couple two-sport stars on this team. I mean, there's a bunch. If you ask them, they can all play two sports at the highest level. But Dylan Devitt, of course, QB1 as the 1-2 is a slider that swung on and missed. Strike 3. Hunt goes down for the first out. Dylan Devitt's, of course, QB1, and then you also have Diamond Loosely, who had offers to play football at the Division I level. He had an offer from Hawaii to be a wide receiver. Instead, he's playing baseball, and he's pretty good at it too. Jack Ben Shoshan plays baseball and now wiffle ball. Vulatic in the box, having a phenomenal day. First pitch ball, fastball. The 1-0. Pop up, back behind the screen, 1-1. (11-2), the Crawdads in a commanding lead over the top-ranked Packers. I had said it for a while that I think the Crawdads might have needed to hit that low of losing 4 in a row yesterday, as Devitt's 1-1 is flipped back behind us, foul, 1-2. They lost 4 in a row. They had really hit the season low, and I think they needed to come in this game, and they just came out hungry today, and it's a really good Crawdads team that played today. This is the Crawdads team that we've seen for the majority of the summer. I think that this is the turning point of the season. I think when the season comes to its close, if you look back on where the Crawdads sit, this was the turning point. The 1-2. Devitt fires a slider just outside, 2-2. Popped up, left side, off the fist, foul. Count stays even, 2s apiece. Getting a new bat is Zack Vulatic. When play resumes, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Vulatic gets the new bat he likes. He's been very productive today, a pair of hits and a walk. Devitt trying to retire him for the first time. The 2-2. Misses down and away in the dirt. Karam's all the way back to Devitt, who picks it up, tosses it around in his hand, and now gets ready to do the 3-2 one more time. The pitch. Fouled back to the screen. The 2-2 pitch. Devitt fires. Fastball up. And that was ball 4. Okay, I thought it was 3-2 before the count. I saw Bartlett motion 2-2, but he must have motioned 3-2. Pinch hitter for Jake Holcroft is Blake Mcdonald, normally the catcher. McDonald so far this summer. .257 average, but does have 5 home runs, 22 batted in. Devitt trying to get a game-ending double play here. First pitch, McDonald pops it way up in the air. Back behind the plate, Tajero gives it a look, flips the mask, settles under it, bobbles it, and he can't get it. Tough break for Zack Tajero. Blake McDonald immediately gets up, flips the ball back to Tajero, says some words, and then does a cross, says thank you, I needed that one. Own one. Down low, blocked by Tajero. Blake McDonald's having fun with this. Like, the Packers are the ones up 11-2. I'm sure his manager, Joey Gomes, not a huge fan of the exuberance that he's showing at the plate. Getting a pinch hit opportunity late. Devitt checks the runner at first, now sets the 1-1. Spiked with a fastball, 2-1. Zack Tajero goes out to talk to his young pitcher, Dylan Devitt. 11-2 the score. The Crawdads in a commanding lead here in the top of the 9th inning. Tajero returns back behind the plate. Devitt readies and fires. McDonald takes strike 2 called on the outer black. 2-2. Devitt sets above the letters and fires. Ground ball to short. Could be 2. Ellis over his glove and into center field. An error for Ryan Ellis. A potential game-ending double play ball, but the game is going to continue as McDonald reaches base with an error. The 3rd error of the game for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, all by that shortstop position.
Right fielder Joe Brown.
Now Joe Brown, 0 for 1 on the day, struck out in his first at bat. First pitch to Brown. Down low. Blocked by Tajero. 1-0. The 1-0. Slider. Little low. 2-0. Healdsburg has not lost since last Sunday. It's been a week when they lost to Solano. Maybe Healdsburg has trouble on Sundays. They lost 1-0 last Sunday as the 2-1 is a strike. 2-1. They lost last Sunday to Solano. The Sunday before, they lost to the Crawdads. So a Sunday streak. The 2-1. Little low, 3-1. Devitt. Now with not a lot of help from his defense after Tajero dropped the pop-up and Ellis dropped the ground ball. Gets a ground ball to Corio at second. Could be 2 to second for 1. Throw to first in time. And the Crawdads absolutely destroy the number 1 ranked Healdsburg Prune Packers 11-2. The double play ball by Joe Brown ends the game 4-6-3. The Crawdads win this one, and they win it in fashion. Walnut Creek has 11 runs on 11 hits and 2 errors, while the Healdsburg Prune Packers get 2 runs on 6 hits and a pair of errors. Fisher Johnson was just tremendous. He went 6 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts, only 2 walks and 3 hits. Zach Button came in after him. Dylan Devitt closes it down in the 9th. Fisher Johnson improves to 3-3 on the summer. He gets the win. The loser goes to Sam Stoutenborough, his first of the summer, no save. The Crawdads will be back in action tomorrow against Lincoln. That game for Walnut Creek will be back here at 4 p.m. at Monte Vista. The Crawdads win this one, and they win it big. Their 20th win of the season. They improved to 20-15. Healdsburg, their record goes to 27-7. Thank you for joining us here from the DVB broadcast booth. For Alon to say, I'm Austin Oda. The Crawdads win this one 11-2.